Well, hi there. Welcome back to Factorio. Modded Factorio at that. So if you remember last time we played this, we had gotten 2 or 3 episodes into a modded version of the game and really didn't do a whole lot. And then about the time we started to get into it, then I kind of found the create mod for Minecraft, which again, I absolutely love, still love it, and will continue to play it. But as per my community post a little while back, it has become apparent that Minecraft videos are not a thing that are liked on my channel. That's okay, but I'll continue to play it on my own, and maybe if something great comes out, I will, if some great discovery comes out, I'll continue to play it. But all this time, I have been wanting to get back into Factorio, and like it or not, I am going to do it. That's kind of one of the big things that my channel was started on, and I will always do it. But the big one was Shapes.io, and Shapes.io was indeed inspired by this game. So I'm going to continue to do it. I'm going to continue to play this game, even if, you know, that's not the reason everybody's here. Oh, come on. But I want to continue where we left off, but I can't exactly do it because there's just a lack of continuity if I were to try to do that. Okay, why am I doing that? I don't know why I'm doing that. Let's just throw some stuff in there and see if that fills up with coal. Also, let's go ahead and grab some steel, or grab some iron. I started looking at the old game. I was going to dig it out, start up again, but then I realized how off-putting and annoying the Aliens Biome mod is. So I decided to ditch it. We're not going to use the Aliens Biome mod. All the other mods that we had loaded previously, we are going to use, but not that one. We'll stick with this. I think it's good. I don't think the Aliens Biome mod actually even really added anything, to tell you the truth. Let's dump that in there, maybe? See how that goes, and that will just continue to fill with stuff. Okay. Now also, let's see, we've got stone. Could we... If I were to grab some more stuff out of here, could we actually make another mining machine? I guess we could. Can we do it? I can't remember what all the requirements are. Honestly, don't remember. And let's go ahead and get 2. There we go. And that should allow us to make 1 more of these. And we'll just put these here and just feed into each other like we usually do. Yeah, let's take half of that. And boom. Boom. Okay, so we're going to keep those things fed. They'll feed each other and they'll shut each other off. And I guess, let's see, I guess I'll grab a little more and maybe we can even make a couple mining machines that will go over the iron and help us with that. But what we are going to do is take advantage of the Ruins mod. We do have the Ruins mod in this game, which is going to provide us with a whole bunch of materials, and we are going to shamelessly use them. I do love the Ruins mod as well. Let's throw that in there. And so in order to use it, we're going to have to go for a nice long walk, but what I'd like to do before we do that, I'd at least like to set up some of these machines to be creating iron for us. I would like to do that, and if we could, can I make a crate? I can't make a crate. I need more wood. Giggity. Let's at least, you know, while we're away, see if we can set these machines up to actually get us something. So what we'll do is we will have... Ooh, stone. Do I need stone? Yeah, I guess I kind of do. Well, no, I should be okay. Should be okay. Okay, so if I put this here and then feed it with coal, and I should be able to make a crate. Crate goes there. We dump some coal in there and it should get us some steel. Or steel. I keep wanting to say steel. Should get us some iron. And let's go ahead and hit Control, or Alt. That's it. Alt, so we can see the insides of the crates. And there's not really a heck of a whole lot we can do, so I think let's go for a walk, let's check the map, and let's see if we can find any ruins. Okay, so confession time. I got a little crazy. I went a little bit overboard. And, well, okay, let me tell you what happened. So, I started recording this about 2 days ago. And, well, 2 days ago was not a really good day. I found out that I didn't get the job I was looking for. And then we had to run around and try and find a car for my son, which in this market is absolutely awful. And in the process of running around the main town around where we live, we blew a tire. And it was raining, so it was just like the worst day possible. But in the process, we did find a car for my son. So the next day, which was yesterday, we spent all day, oh my gosh, all day, went and purchased the car. By the way, I've got a whole diatribe on purchasing a car. Did that in the morning. Also, dropped the van off to replace tires. Picked it up after we were done purchasing the car. And then my youngest son had dental appointments out the wazoo for the rest of the day. But I had taken the day off from the business to help out. And once we took care of the tires and the car, I came home and started since I was at home, it's not a great place to record. Anyway, I just started playing on this game, and I figured, you know what, I'll keep doing the searching for the ruins while my wife is with my son, and we're just kind of chilling, and oh my gosh, I just went nuts. Just searching and searching and scrounging and searching and searching and searching some more. And long story short, I know, too late, I found a whole crap ton of stuff. Everything you see here, all the drilling machines, all the wires, all of the steel furnaces, of which there were an absolute butt ton, and the labs over here, which is only half of what I found. Do I have them here? Where are they at? Where are the rest of the labs? Oh, look at them. I've got like 36 labs over here. There's 40 over here. And I found 6 cars in the process. 6 automobiles. If we go to the map and you take a look at that, see? I found all these cars that are extra, and I just sort of laid out some brickwork here for them to sit on, like a motor pool. Found all these steam generators. It was a busy day, but I found all kinds of great stuff, and I just kind of got carried away and started constructing them. So, which was really kind of grindy work. I mean, I've got a stone processing area done, a brick processing area. We've got iron plate processing. We've got copper plate processing. And I've actually created very few items, but look at everything that I've found. Look, I love the Ruins mod. I just absolutely love it. And for the refresher, for those who don't remember, the Ruins mod, look at the 6 artillery pieces and all these shells. 31 laser turrets. I mean, holy crap, that's late game stuff. At least mid game stuff. And I've got nuclear components here. That is late game stuff. Some centrifuges. But for those who don't know, the Ruins mod puts little things on the map, like right here. What are some other examples? See if we can find them. Some materials and structures that represent an intelligent life form that came before, and a previous attempt to colonize this planet, which failed miserably because there's just garbage, ruined buildings all over the place. So apparently they failed, and we came in after the fact. And see, there's even a turret here that didn't kill anything useful. And we came in later and tried to recolonize the planet. And of course, we are going to succeed. The thing is, we just walk around and we pick up the stuff that hasn't been ruined. So anything that we can use, we can pick up. Look at this, SOS, I love it. Anything that we can use, we pick up and we put to use again. We've got some crates here. There's all kinds of things. And solar panels, I found solar panels. I found accumulators, I'm sorry. Basically, capacitors. And we found solar cells, capacitors, radar sets, and we've just started setting up a little monitoring system around. So every time the sun is up, it charges the accumulators and keeps the radar going. So that is very cool, but that's what I've been up to. And I think what we're going to do next, I mean, you've seen this before. I've talked you through it. It's no great mystery. But what we are going to do is we found a whole bunch of science packs unclaimed. Now, we have not built any science packs yet, but we're going to do that. We're going to set up our red science, maybe even our green science, because we've got so much stuff with which to do it. Let's go ahead and start processing some science. So automation, I'm thinking let's go to logistics. I want to get some underground belts. I found some, but I want to be able to make some. Also steel. I want to be able to make some steel. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and do steel first. Yeah, let's do that. Because if we can process steel, look at all these things going to town. If we can get steel going, then we can actually process this thing right here. This is just a, there it goes. Yes, it's going to make steel. I set this arrangement up for the sole purpose of making steel beams so that as we go around the map, you will find unprocessed iron ore, copper ore, things like that. With this, oh, this thing doesn't have any coal. It's going to need coal, is it not? Yes, it is. Come out of there. So let's, boom, boom, let's take that and let's put that there and let's put that there so that there's some coal for these things when they run out. But why are they going so slow? So I figured I would set this thing up as a way to just, while we're gone doing things, it would just process some of the ore that we otherwise wouldn't use. Oh, wow, that was fast. Automation. Let's do military so we can do submachine guns, and that's going to go quick. And my goodness, let's see how much stuff do we have? We don't have a lot. Yeah, we got a lot of red science, so we should be able to go through a lot of it. So let's do more of it. I figured this is something we could do first thing, get it out of the way. But now that we've got all these materials, we've got all kinds of assembly machines with which we can build science pack production areas. So that should work out really well. Let's see, more science. I'd like to get heavy armor because we're going to be dealing with the biters. So let's go ahead and start that. And then we'll start steel axe, get that done. We've got the output of the steel furnaces over here. This is a technology we don't even have yet, but we found the steel furnaces and they process at twice the speed, just about twice the speed as the usual stone furnaces, and that's awesome. So with that, we should be able to bring these two lines down together and start producing red science and green science. So let's see if we can do another thing. Let's go ahead and do the steel axe. And then, of course, we're going to get green science started as well, so we can do that. Okay, so for red science, we're going to actually need 11 assembly machines of the same type. And you know what? They don't need to be super fast, so let's use the assembly machine ones. We've got to use them for something, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right. And the way these work is the first one produces gear wheels, and the rest all produce red science. So let's paste that across there. Let's go ahead and get green science researched, because we're going to need to do that fairly quick. Oh, and belts. We have got so many belts. We've got so many belts. We're going to have to start producing them though, but we found and scrounged so many that it's not even funny. But I think it should be first on our list. Oh, the green science is done. Let's do military 2? Should we do military 2? Yeah, we can do that. We haven't processed any green science yet, have we? Yeah, not much. There's some there. I love that mod. Okay, so we did green science. Landfill, I think we need to do that. Alright, can we do this with just... Let's see if we can bring the yellow science down here. Or, I'm sorry, the yellow belt of iron. And then copper will be here. I think it will go right here, maybe? Okay, so this just needs iron plates, so the steel, or the iron will come this way. set up that. And then, let's see, boom. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, I mean, if you've been living under a rock, you must know that the used car market right now in the United States is absolutely bonkers. For whatever reason, I guess there's also the chip shortage. I mean, there's a few reasons from what I understand, but let's see if we can do this just the right way. Is that going to work? Yeah, that'll work. There's the chip shortage, which of course is causing problems with graphics cards and whatnot, but also with the production of new cars. They're waiting for components, and used cars are therefore a more hot commodity, because if you can't get new cars, well, and new cars, of course, because they're so scarce, what happens? Price goes up. And if price goes up, then the demand tends to go down a little bit. Well, if the demand goes up, price goes up, and the price is prohibitively expensive for a lot of people, so used cars become a more attractive option. Okay, let's do optics. And if used cars become an attractive option, then used car prices go way up. Is that going to work? Yeah, that should be fine. So, I mean, they are just absolutely through the roof. A car that might have normally cost $6,000 is costing $10,000. And my son is going to be finishing up school soon, and the place that he works at, he works at Chipotle as a kitchen manager, or not as a kitchen manager, he will be a kitchen manager, but he works as a pretty senior member of the team, and they're wanting to promote him. So once he finishes up school, let's see, what do we do next? Let's do electronics. Once they promote him, or once he finishes school, they'll promote him, and it'll be a full-time position, and he will be the kitchen manager, or at least one of the kitchen managers. And if that happens, then he's going to need his own ride. And I don't know, I guess it would have been about a month ago, we had nice little Honda Civic. That was my car. That was my little commuter car, and I hit a deer with it. And it did just enough damage to it that it is considered totaled, which is a real bummer. And that was the car he was comfortable with. He lost it, my fault. So he realizes, well, you know what, it's time for me to buy my own car. So he decided to do that. And this is the worst time in the world to buy a car, let me tell you. But let me give you some dadvice, if I may. And okay, you know what I can make? There we go. I can make those undergroundies. Need those. Okay, let's go ahead and do automation 2, I suppose. Fast inserters, we'll do that also. Yes. So if I may give you some dadvice, and that is, if you have the opportunity to co-sign a loan with your parents, like for those of you who are young and want to have your own car at some point, for those of you who, may have been confronted with the idea of possibly getting your parents to co-sign a loan with you, I would highly recommend that. So if they can do it, I mean, it might not even be possible. What we're going to do is we're going to feed this in here. It might not even be possible depending on your parents' credit, but my son's credit, he's non-existent right now, so he would not be able to get a loan. And the cars right now, he's got a lot of cash on hand, but not enough to get a dependable car because the market is so bad right now. Or rather, for a seller, it's awesome. You can get the best price for your car. But if you're trying to buy a car, it's expensive. Now, when I grew up, okay, let's go ahead and do automation 2 so we can, at least get the technology to build the blue assembly machines. Okay, so now that we've got red science going, we should be good. Yeah, that is awesome. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to take one of these blue machines and put it right there. So that's going to make the gears even faster, I think. Why does this thing slow up like that every so often? It's weird. All of a sudden, everything just sort of slows down. But the power, take a look at the power. Power is great. We are kicking it as far as power goes. So it ain't that. What do we want to do? we'll do the tool belt, increase our inventory, right? Can we do that? We don't. Yeah, we got green signs left. We should be able to do that. You know, when I grew up in a pretty conservative environment, and one which kind of frowned upon getting debt, which I understand. Debt can be a real pain in the neck. There is no lie. Debt can be a slave master if you can't get a hold of it, if you let it get out of hand. But at the same time, almost everything you do nowadays requires you to have some form of credit. And as an example, you know, growing up, I paid cash for everything. I managed my money really well, and I paid cash for everything. No big deal. Never had an issue with it. But granted, I was always able to afford a car, but the cars that I was able to afford were cars that constantly needed to be fixed. Okay, this one is going to make belts, and this one is therefore going to make gear wheels. Am I right? Yeah, that ought to do it. But the cars that I was able to buy were always like junk. They always needed work, constantly needed work. I also make that a big one because we're going to need lots of belts. They constantly needed work. Yes, I didn't owe anybody anything, but there was, you know, how good is that? How great is that when you constantly have to fix the car? It's like, well, yeah, I got lots of education on how to fix cars, on different things, you know, repair brakes, voltage regulators, alternators, carburetors, changing tires, everything you can imagine that goes wrong typically with cars. I got exhaust systems. I got lessons on how to fix because I had to. I mean, the downside of that is that, let's see, now we're going to make the green science, I think. The downside of having to do that is that you're constantly on the side of the road, late for work or whatever, because your car broke down. I mean, how pleasant is that? You know, what good is, you know, having paid cash for a car if you're constantly broken down and late for work and whatnot? So then, you know, I never paid cash for anything. Well, then I enlisted in the Army, or I always paid cash, never went into debt, which was, you know, I use air quotes here, great, did the right thing, but I was, you know, constantly hurting for a dependable car because I always paid what I could afford to pay cash for, and it was never very high. It was always some, you know, couple $1,000s or maybe a couple $100s even, and just was not great. So then, you know, I joined the Army and I was able to get by for a couple of years without a car because I lived in the barracks and I was able to walk to work, and I had buddies that, you know, I could bum a ride off of if I wanted to. And let's see, what do I need? I need splitters. So, I mean, fortunately, I was a friendly enough guy that nobody had any problem taking me places, and, you know, I'd pay gas, that kind of thing. But eventually, it was time to get married. I met who was my wife, and we got engaged. And at that time, I'm like, okay, I need a decent car. And I picked out a car that I wanted and said, I'll just go get a loan. I make good money. I know I can afford it. I'm in the Army now, you know. I'm a sergeant even. I can afford it. Well, here's a lesson to you guys. It doesn't matter whether or not you can afford it. Okay, we need copper to come up here, I think. What matters, and matters like totally, is being able to prove that to a bank. You need to prove that to somebody that you can pay for it. And you show them your pay stubs, that's great, but what everybody uses is your credit report. And because I paid cash for everything, I never even owned a credit card, I had no credit. For those who are unaware, here in the States, having no credit is worse than having bad credit. Because if you have bad credit, you know, the people will get their interest. They'll get their interest from you. But if you have no credit, they don't know if they're going to get any money at all because you have no history at all paying bills. Okay, let's see. How am I going to do this? I need to get another iron line over here, which I think I can do. Yeah, I think I can do that. I'll just do it here. So bad credit is almost better than having no credit. If you have no credit, then you are like persona non grata. Nobody wants to touch you. And I went to a couple places and they just kind of looked at me like, I'm sorry, dude, you got no credit. I'm not giving you a loan. Freaking discouraging, I tell you. So Julie and I, my wife, said to ourselves, you know what? We're not going to do this to our son. We are not going to set him up the way we were set up. I mean, Julie wasn't set up. I was. But she did the same. She didn't have any credit either. She never went into debt for anything. So both of us had zero credit. So even as here's a guy who's, a sergeant in the Army, I think a pretty mature dude, and I still had to have my parents, who had credit, co-sign for my car. That was embarrassing. To have that done as a person who already lives on his own and about to get married, to have parents co-sign for your car is just embarrassing. So we decided that, you know what, I'm not going to do that to my son. My son is going to start building credit now. He's making money. He's not paying rent to us just yet, and he can afford it. He can afford to make double and triple payments, which we're going to have him do. He can afford to make double and triple payments on his car and pay it off in, less than 2 years. And all that while, he's building credit. He will have credit. So when the time comes when he's getting married and maybe he needs to get a car, because he's got a decent car now. We bought a car. It's a decent car. Got a loan for it. It's going to last him a while. It's pretty dependable. We bought it from a dealer that we know well and have dealt with and shoot straight with us and have no issues with. Love these guys. Okay, is everything moving okay? Yes, I think it is. So what we need to do here is make these puppies right here. So we're going to need a thing that makes gear wheels. Actually, we're going to take this down. Let's see, can we do this? If I do it like this, perhaps? Yeah, maybe. Something like that. This will make gear wheels, right, chow. So now he's got a dependable car. He's earning credit. If he wants to get something bigger, something that's even more dependable, even newer, it's 2013, so it's not too bad. Especially in the market now, if you want a dependable car, you're going to pay 5 figures for it. He could almost pay cash for the car. To be clear, his financial situation was such that he could almost pay cash for it because he's been saving and scraping together like a madman. But we told him, you know what, why don't you go ahead and finance a good portion of it? Then you can go a step up if you want, or you can pay it off quick and get your credit report up there. And that's what we're opting to do. That's what he's opting to do. So when he leaves home and he goes to, maybe he and his wife want to buy a house or something like that, he can do it. Okay, what does this thing require? It requires... Okay, green chips. Okay, requires the gear wheels. All right, he will be able to do it, but he will have established a history of paying his bills. He'll have good credit. He won't run into the embarrassment that, to have a bank look at you like, dude, I don't care how many bills you paid. And it was a bank that I had been with for years. And that didn't matter to them. They didn't care that I had never taken my bank account or overdrawn or anything. I was, all they saw was my credit report, and I didn't have any, and it was embarrassing. What I'm saying is, if your parents ever, present you with the idea of, hey, how about we co-sign a loan for you, if they can, because, it goes against their credit. If you don't pay, if you got a history of not paying your bills or, whatever, then your parents might not want you to do it because this guy's, my own kid can't seem to pay his bills. I don't want my credit ruined, which it would be if he decides not to pay his bills. But if you're good and have a good history, you can be set up for success. And your parents are okay co-signing your loan, then you could be in really good shape when you get out there on your own. Especially if you're looking at buying a house. You can already have some established credit. And I'll tell you, I wish I'd known that as a kid. I wish I'd hit my parents up later on. Eventually, my parents changed their tune regarding credit. We were, like I said, we're in one of those ultra-conservative type environments where, any kind of going into debt was bad, and my parents just kind of avoided it. The world we live in now, you can't even get electricity turned on in your house unless you've got some kind of credit report that they can look at and say, yeah, you'll pay your bills. Okay. Yeah, we'll turn the electricity on to that house. It's needed for everything. They pull your credit report for just about everything. But if they do that, make absolutely sure you take care of your social security number here in the States. I don't know if there's something similar in other countries, but loans are granted. Your credit history is basically attached to your social security number, and that's how they look it up. Like I told my son, make sure you are you protect that like it's the money in your bank account, because it is just as important, if not more important, than the money in your account. This is your life. Take care of it. Don't give it away unless you absolutely trust the entity that's asking for it. And banks, yes, you want to, a reputable bank, you do want to give them your social security number. You will need to. Just letting you know. So anyway, that ends my rant about that. Just a great way for parents to set their kids up for financial success, especially if you can put a fire under their butts to make sure that the loan gets paid. Like my son, he put his loan on auto pay. So it is the first thing that gets paid. His auto insurance and his loan gets on auto pay, and then we're going to be hitting him up to make payments, to make extra payments on it so that he can pay it off. Instead of the 5 years, he'll pay it off in less than 2. All right, we're going to need some red inserters. What we're doing is we're getting both red and green science good to go. And it should be here. Where did the red inserters go? Oh, right here. Okay, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, super uber important to make sure that stuff's taken care of. All right. Okay, so in order to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to take this. We've actually got a couple of substations, which is very abnormal. And I'm going to put this puppy right there. That should power everything, dang. Just one of them. And let us take our red inserters. Okay, that ought to take care of that. And then boom, 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 boom. Put these here. And there we go. Alright, so green science is on its way. You know what I'm thinking, though? I'm kind of thinking that... Let's do this. Do that, that, and then this. So that way, we've already set it up so that this belt carries both red and green signs. It doesn't make sense to run a second belt. I mean, look how little of this belt is actually being used. Okay, so the red science is going to be on the bottom. Alright, this does not need to be doing that. I think what we need to do is this. Actually, we'll leave it be as is. Okay, so the green science is going to be on the top. And what we need to do then is to bring this belt just like this over here. And is that gonna work? Yeah, that'll work. Good deal. Awesome. That, so therefore if we wanted to add red science to the mix like that, we could do it there, and that's how that works. And green science would get added there. Okay, so let's go ahead and start some new research, and let's do engines. It's going to need a lot of green, but so be it. That's fine. We've got green coming. And how are we doing for power now that all the labs are going? Okay, lots of power. Awesome. And you know what? It's time to start thinking about bootstrap stuff. I think we have the ability to make a decent bootstrap base. Let's see, what do we got? Do we have any more lights? No, we don't. But I can make some. we should be able to make some without too much trouble. Okay. Yeah, we need to start bootstrapping stuff. And let's see, that means we're going to have to actually set up a bunch of this spaghetti all around the map to make things like, okay, so we've got belts being made, but we need to make lights and other such items. And let's see, engines, can we get anything else going? Fluid handling, yes, we'll get that out of the way. Yeah, lots of good stuff. Okay. Yeah, I think, you know, the Ruins mod has really got us on a good path. Oh, you know what else we're going to do? Walls. Okay, T. And let's go ahead and get walls done. And if we can do that, it's going to go quick. Boom. Slam. We'll do military science. We'll get that up and running. But I think I want to set up, okay, a couple of machines right here. And they're just going to make walls. And we'll set up a steel chest. And let's get the next one going. Advanced material processing. Now let's get this thing down here. And I do want to make walls. So we go to military. And cut and paste. There we go. Okay, cool. So we've got walls being made. Oh, you know what? We got the ability to make light armor, heavy armor. Let's go ahead. Not enough ingredients. What are we missing? Ah, steel. Okay. Oh, we've got a crap ton of steel. That's what we need to make. We actually need to set up a dedicated steel production area. But we do have steel here. And let's go ahead. We'll make one armor. There's advanced material processing. Let's do oil processing so we can start pumping oil. And green science. We're going to hit a wall with green science, apparently. Okay. Heavy armor is already in place. Great. And let's go ahead and make a submachine gun. I can't make a shotgun just yet. Oh, you know why I can't make it? Because I've got a crap ton of wood, but it's not in the right place. Giggity. Okay, there we go. So I gotta be able to make that wood stock. One shotgun, because I've actually got... Where is it? I've actually got some green shotgun shells, which are freaking fantastic. Also, we need to make some place we need to have a place that builds ammunition. Okay, shotgun is made. And let's go ahead and load the green shotgun shells up. And what can we do to make ammunition? We can, I think we do it right here, right? I think we can do it right, yeah. All it takes is iron plates, if I'm not mistaken. So let's go ahead and make a steel chest for that. This is what I'm talking about, bootstrapping. Okay, now what do we need for the red shells? Steel and copper. Okay, yes. So we're definitely going to have to do that. Oh, steel and copper, but we also need, yeah, okay, regular firearm magazines. Okay, right, got it. Cool. Let's actually do physical projectile damage next, because one thing I have found out is that I got in close proximity to some of these biters, and the gun on the car worked very well for taking them out. But if there was a bunch, they could overwhelm you really quick. And what have we got there? Yeah, centrifuge. Oh, yeah, beautiful stuff. So, yes, they can overwhelm you pretty quick. So if we can get the damage from each shell increased a little bit, that would be good. Oh, it's kind of crazy how they do this map. It's like, I mean, if I'm seeing this right, it's almost like they've got this slightly pixelated appearance to it, which is different. And it's not there. I can see it up here. It's not there when you're on the normal view, but when you go to map, it does. It has this slightly pixelated appearance. I love it. Okay, and what would we need to make lights? Lights is another thing I like to make a ton of. But you know what? I think that's something that can wait. What will we do next? Turrets, I think. Let's do gun turrets. We'll have those. Well, alright, I think we're doing pretty awesome. Like I said, I spent so much time the last couple days as I was just kind of chilling after a very rough day yesterday. And the day before. I kind of spent the rest of the day sort of chilling and got a lot done. And I hope you don't mind my little rant with regard to debt. So, yes, by all means, if you want to set your kids up for success, or if you're a kid who wants to be set up for success, you know, kind of inquire with your parents or inquire with your children about the idea of co-signing a loan. You know, of course, the danger there is paying it off. You have to pay it off, and you can't, otherwise somebody else's credit is dependent. And if you have a history of not being dependable, then I can understand if your parents say, yeah, we're not going to co-sign a loan with you. You're kind of you're a flake. Love you, kid, but you're a flake. And if that's the case, can't really help you there, but my son is not a flake. He's pretty dependable. When he wants something, he does what he needs to, and if he wants to pay it off, he will pay it off. It will be a priority. He's got the money, he can do it, and he's a dependable worker, so he's very unlikely to lose his job, especially in this job market. Chipotle is so undermanned that I think they will take anybody with a heartbeat, if I had to guess. So I don't see him losing his job. He won't get an attitude, and the company is not going to lay him off. Ain't going to happen. People want they burritos. In a case like that, he's a perfect candidate for co-signing a loan. So we did that for him. And we're going to encourage him to pay it off quick. And in the meantime, he is earning credit. So cannot beat that with a stick. You know, like I said, be trustworthy. If you want it to work, be trustworthy. That's a huge caveat. You want to have your parents help you out in that regard, a relative help you out. Be a dependable person. And my son is dependable. All right. Well, enough about that. I think we'll come back to this later. Again, I want this to be my forever Factorio world. I'm trying to think of ideas for shapes.io, because apparently people really love that game. It's so simple, but I'm sort of at a loss. I'm like, well, what do I do next? I'd have to spend a whole lot of time to try to come up with a make anything machine that actually can make anything, but my brain hurts too much for that right now. I might later on. We'll see. There's the world as it stands right now, and there's the explored world, and hopefully we'll get some trains going and we will conquer the natives. Yes, I said it. Right around Columbus Day. So, y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao.